This is Michel from Autarkh, the mastermind from this crazy and incredible band. Michel, how are you doing, man?
Hi, thank you for having me, man. I'm very good. Thank you.
Thank. You're from Tilburg in Netherlands, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're right.
Haha, nice. Man, and please tell me, how do the idea of Autarkh uh, has emerged from you?
In 2019, I was playing for 10 years in a band called Dodecahedron, and that band no longer existed in 2019, unfortunately. But we had already written a number of songs for the third album. So those songs were there, but the band no longer existed, and I really wanted to use those songs. So I was thinking of some new context to use those songs, and then I remembered that I had an idea already years earlier that someday I would want to try and combine that type of metal with electronic beats, like Aphex Twin or Autarkh does. And I thought, well, maybe this is the time, Let's try and see if it's possible to use these songs that were laying around, that were meant for the third Dodecahedron album, and recontextualize them in this new band. And I started talking to some musicians in my environment, like Joris Bonus, who was also in Dodecahedron, and I had met our other guitar player, David Luiten, a couple of years earlier. So I started talking to people like, hey, do you think this would work? And if you think it would work, how are we going to make this work? Because, the distortion guitars, they are so always prominent, in the metal
Yes,
mix. And
yes.
we didn't know how would we make, all the details from the beats work. So we started to fool around with it, like try out different types of production thingies and record demos, and and from there on we started to figure out, like, okay, that kind of stuff, it does not work, and that kind of stuff does work, and that's how we started this band.
Nice, nice, nice. And then you take those compositions from Dodecahedron that I was used to listen, and I think that was last week I was listening to your two full albums, and I love this kind of song of music, man. It was genius. It was genius.
Thank
So
you so much.
you're welcome. But before we get into Autarkh, why did the Kahitron stop? It was a common decision from all the guys.
Yeah, a lot of things were going on. One of the things was that the first singer of Dodecahedron, Michiel Eikenaar, he got diagnosed with cancer in
Oh,
2017. So that was very bad, and he eventually died in 2019.
whoa! Sorry for
Um,
making you
yeah,
about this, man.
no, it's okay because I am okay with it now. It was a tough time,
Yes.
but earlier he already left the band, and we had a different singer who's a longtime friend of Michiel. Um, but he was, singing Michiel's lyrics that are
Mhm.
also about, existence and death and all kinds of existential topics. And
Yes.
as Michiel's cancer got worse and worse, it also became increasingly difficult for him to sing those lyrics. So that was going on. A bunch of other things were going on, and um, when he eventually passed away, that was around the time that Roadburn 2019 was happening. Um, it was decided that we would close off that era, and start, yeah, and I was going to start something new.
Nice.
But
And
I still like to honor his work because I think he was a great lyricist, you know, and I'd like to remember him and keep his legacy alive by sometimes, you know, if I can't find the right words for something to say, I might look into his lyrics, and then sometimes I borrow a word or a sentence from him and use them in the Autarkh lyrics.
nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. And that's a huge way to honor his legacy.
yeah.
And that Autarkh has been born. And for me, you told me that one of your the bands that you was used to listen, it was Aphex Twin. Some vibes of Atari Teenage Riot. Is that wrong? That Atari Teenage Riot could influence you on making Autarkh alive?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. Um, you told me before that you were listening to Aphex Twin and to create these Autarkh vibes, but I got some feelings that Atari Teenage Riot was an influence too. Is that
Huh?
right?
Not directly, but I can see the similarity indeed, and it is an act that I really like. It was never really spoken about within the band members as being a direct influence, but I can definitely see the similarity, and I have seen them live once, and it was amazing. So I
Oh,
can definitely see the resemblance. Yeah.
yes, yes. I never saw them alive, because I think that they played in Brazil only once, and I was
Oh,
just a little kid.
yeah.
But I remember that some guys from MTV in Brazil has been on the concert, and they said, "Man, one of the craziest concerts ever." But let's talk about Autarkh. And now in 2023, Murdered has been born. And this is an incredible album, man. Congratulations for it. How it was for you to compose this one. And I think that you're singing too, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first time that you're singing. Or
Uh,
no. In Autarkh it's normal for you.
I also was singing on the debut album. So we released
Okay.
a debut album called Form in Motion in 2021, and well, both David and I are singing, but I am kind of the lead vocalist.
Yes.
Um, and that was my first attempt to, you know, also do the semi clean stuff because I've been, you know, doing growling vocals in other bands for quite some time,
Hmm.
but not the clean stuff. So that was new, and because I was trying to do that, I started to practice it more because I had learned by then that, you know, you can train the vocal cords are muscles, so you can train them just as you would go to the gym to train other muscles, and it
Yes.
takes time to get them into shape. So when I had learned that that is the way it works, then I thought, let me just spend some time every week to practice my singing, so I can develop the type of sound that I want. And I've been doing that for the last couple of years. And so on Emergent, I think it is already in a much better shape, and I am very satisfied with how my vocal sound now. But I also know that there is still a lot of progress to be made. But it's a very nice tool to be able to express yourself. You know, I'm used to playing guitar. I've been playing
Yes.
guitar since I was a kid, but using your vocal cords to express yourself is a different. It's more personal, and by
Yes.
singing clean, there's even a wider range of emotions that you can try to express, and yeah, I really like that.
Yes, yes, and in the Emergent album, your clean singing, they pass a lot of emotions in a lot of songs. Eye of Horus, if I'm not wrong, is the name of the song. and when you in the start of the song, you gave. It seems like you're giving us hope of something. Is that wrong to say that? Because this one is a song that I'm always listening to, man. Like,
Okay.
it will be on a future playlist of good songs of 2023, man.
Oh, great. That's great to hear. Yeah, that's one of the more experimental songs on the album, I think. And
Yes, that's why I like it so much, because it's truly experimental, and I can hear the beats being really electronic, but the guitars are also extremely heavy. That's why it caught me.
okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, what I try to do, I am used to. I mean, that's just the way my brain or my body works. Is that I like to make the contrast, but I definitely want to do something intense, you know. So what I'm trying to do with the vocals also is trying to reach some sort of, you know, every now and then in a song I try to reach some sort of peak intensity, and that is sometimes it works really well, you know, and while you're recording, if it's a bit off, then you can do it again. But when we're performing live, you know, I just have to go and do it. And what I am noticing is that because of this energy that I want to bring across, sometimes I can overdo it a little bit. You know, I'm so excited to do it that it might
Yes.
not be the right thing for my vocal cords. But as I am learning, I am getting better at, you know, leveling energy in such a way that it's still intense, but it's
Yes.
not like overdoing it.
I got it. I got it. And how the metal community in Holland and in Europe received Emergent for you? People get crazy, get say no, it cannot happen because there's no drums. How people received it?
Um, yeah, both of these things have happened. um, from the reviews that I have seen so far are fairly positive. Some really good ones, and some, you know, like good ones, not really bad ones. So I think that the type of, you know, the passion and the heart and all the work that we put in the album, I think we managed to get it across. And of
Yes.
course, it's a type of music um, that may not be appealing to a more conservative listener. So if if somebody says, well, you know, that's not my thing. I just like my metal band to be, you know, straightforward with drums and um, you know, then that's not for them. But they
Okay.
usually everybody can recognize the honesty and the type of intensity that we try to get across. So that is really nice, and I think that is also why the responses are positive. Or somebody can say, well, you know, I can see that they are, you know, trying to get their point across and doing their thing. Only it's not really for me. But no one is saying like I don't care or uh, um, it is bad. You know, I haven't seen that.
That's nice. That's nice. But that so you're telling me this, and then I'm thinking here it would be just a problem here in Brazil. I don't know, because I do think that metal listeners here in Brazil are more conservative. A few people like me, for example, like to explore more,
Okay, yeah.
and I do think so. But did you had some responses from Brazil or from South America from your album?
Well, actually, the not Brazil specifically, from what I've seen so far, but there seems to be a higher amount of interest, indeed, from Latin American countries. Because I've been doing interview with a guy from Mexico and
Oh,
from Peru, and there's another one from Mexico coming up, I think, Retumba. And so, yeah, it seems as if uh, the Latin American area is interested in what we are doing.
Nice. It's nice to know. So I can
Yeah.
hope that you come one day here to play.
I hope that's so too, man. It's kind of hard because we're just a small band, you know, and yeah, we would need to land maybe a tour with a bigger band that we can join. But yeah, I mean, of course, I'd love to, you know.
I know it. And coming back to the album, Emergent. Is there a history behind it, or each song that you wrote is trying to express something, or if there is something that link everything together and create these album? Can you explain Emergent for us, please?
Yeah, I can try. What we since we are a band like Dodecahedron also that releases an album, you know,
Yes.
we think about the album as being one well product, so to say, you know. So
Yes.
to me, it makes the most sense to look at the album as a whole thing, as a whole body of work, and the songs it's some kind of flow, you know, or some storyline that is going on throughout the album, rather than just a collection of random songs. So in On Form in Motion, on the debut album, there's kind of a storyline going on, starting in quite a dark place, you know, and the entity is evolving and learning
Yes.
to process and eventually striving, you know, towards certain enlightenment. And this storyline is continued on Emergent, but the starting point is in a later stage. So there is already some kind of sense of connectedness to the nature or the universe. So it starts off with the song Open Focus, which is a term from, it's kind of a spiritual term to describe a certain state of mind that you could achieve while you go into a meditation. So that is why the song is kind of, you know, it's like, it's set, there's kind of an atmosphere there. And
Yes.
okay, that can be a bit like this, but it's kind of like this. So
Yes.
you can create some sort of, okay, I'm going into the meditative state. And then the other tracks are kind of, it's kind of meant to, you could interpret it as some sort of meditation process where you go and visit all the energy centers in the body. And each song is kind of reflecting one energy center. And from my personal experience, you know, whenever I am out of balance, it's usually a problem in the lower energy centers. So that's why songs like Strife and Dukkha, but also the first part of Track, they are more dark.
Yes.
So, and also in the lyrics, you can see how I'm trying to explain like the things that are not working out yet or that are a problem. They are being described. And then from the second half of Track onwards to the upper energy centers, eventually ending up with Ka, you know, the final
Yes.
energy center to connect your being to the universe and experience a maximum amount of connection with everything. That is basically how this album works for me, at least. That's how it's. That's the idea behind it.
Now you explain me. I got why in Aperture before Ouroboros you have a moment of climax and then you came big within your clean voices because you are going to the upper level. You are going
Yes.
to upper connection.
Yes, and exactly. And Aperture is connected. That's the energy center that is over here. It's connected to your thyroid gland. So that's why it's a piece with mostly only vocals.
Nice.
Because that's the center where you try to, you know, that's where you
Yes.
have the expression tools. Yeah.
Yes, cool. So nice to listen to it, because now things getting connected for me. That's so nice, man. That's so nice.
It's
And
great to
do
hear.
you have already, do you have plans already of playing through Europe, or doing some tours through Europe or East America,
Um,
Australia?
um, yeah, well, we have our release show this Friday. You know, that's just in Tilburg, in our hometown. We're playing
Yes.
a full set. You know,
Nice.
old songs, new songs, and we are looking into doing some club shows and festivals next year.
Yes.
Hopefully throughout Europe, but that's not entirely certain yet. Um, So it's not set in stone yet. I don't know, but it would be, of course, it would be great to, like I said earlier, to be able to go along with a band that has a higher following, like a bigger reach, to join them on a tour. And
Yes.
a logical step would be a European tour.
Yes.
Um, but we are open to suggestions, and it could also be one-off festivals outside of Europe. But um, I think at this point, um, I mean, I'm happy that we can release through Season of Mist, and
It's an album. Yes.
that we have this whole that we can reach people throughout the whole world with our music. But in fact, we're still kind of quite a small band, so I think we just have to continue to work on doing more, and playing shows and writing albums, and then hopefully maybe in the future.
Maybe. Man,
Yeah.
Michel, thanks a lot for being talking to me. And please leave a message to Brazil. Leave a message to us here in Brazil. That's your time, man.
Yes. Okay. Hey there, Headbangers Brasil readers and listeners. Thank you so much for having me, Augusto. I'm very thankful that there's this attention for our band and that you are interested in us. And I'd like to invite all your readers to check out Autarkh Emergent, our new album. If you are into a bit of experimental metal, so to say, or if you like to discover something new, give it a try. And if you like what you hear and you would like to support us, you can have a look at our website, autarkh.com. So that's autarkh.com. We have a web shop there with some nice products, like t-shirts, long sleeves, or you can visit our Bandcamp page. There's also merchandise there, and we are on all the socials. So please get in touch with us if you like what we do, and we hope to hear from you.
Okay. Michel, thanks a lot for your time, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, man.
You're welcome, man. Bye-bye.
Are you going to broadcast this interview like the spoken thing, or are you going to write it?
I will write and I will broadcast ourselves. You're
Okay.
so beautiful here in this camera. I have to use it, my friend.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yes.
Bye, man.
Okay, man.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.